Welcome to the Flight Club Podcast, a woman's guide to leaning out. We give you a behind-the-scenes look at business launch and growth through the stories of successful female entrepreneurs. Here's your host, Felina Hansen, founder and CEO of Hera Hub.
Hello and welcome. I'm excited for my conversation today with Metta LaKind. She is a Reiki master teacher, a somatic energy practitioner, a motivational speaker, and a performance artist. She is passionate about working with clients one-on-one to help reprogram their subconscious mind and learn how to heal themselves. She is the co-founder of the Curacion Consciousness Collective, a group of professionals, yogis, and artists who foster community through yogic-based practices and energetic modalities. CCC facilitates corporate events and trainings, workshops, and retreats. Welcome to the show today, Metta.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Now, I know you are native to Chicago, born and raised there in Chicago, but it looks like you went up to University of Michigan for your education, American culture and history. Talk about some of those early choices you made in education, and then we'll get into your career path.
Sure. Looking back, I was just so disconnected from my path and what I actually wanted. So I ended up, everyone in my family went to Michigan, my mom, my dad, and my sister. And so I just kind of ended up there. And it was great in some ways. I really loved my major. It was a combination of women's studies, African American history, American history. I just love the intersectionality. And Michigan is actually one of the only schools in the country that offers that particular major.
Interesting. Okay. So you followed in the footsteps of your family. Talk to us about some of the work that you were doing there and how did that lead into your first job out of college?
That's a great question. So I was an American culture major, and then I was a social work minor. And I have a lot of therapists and mental health workers in my family. And doing the social work track I knew that I wanted to do something in the mental health field, but I didn't really see the healing arts. I wasn't really exposed to that yet. And I found that doing learning about social work and all those things, I felt like there was really something that was missing. And there wasn't that level of depth for me. But that shaped my interest in working with people and just learning more about mental health and just kind of issues at large.
Awesome. And so you graduate, you go out into the world. What is your first job out of college?
So my college path was very interesting. I got sober. So the beginning of my senior year of college, I dropped out of school temporarily and got sober, which I thought it was going to be like a 45-day program, and it ended up being over a year-long inpatient and outpatient treatment that actually I lived in California for a couple of years and did that. And then I ended up after that going back to school at UC Irvine and then at a community college in Chicago, but I graduated with a Michigan degree. So it was kind of all over the map.
Wow.
But it took 7 years or 5 or 6 years.
Okay. Well, but you were on a journey.
Yes, exactly.
Awesome. What was next for you once you were back there in Chicago?
So this is kind of where I would say the healing path started for me when my 8-year sober anniversary was on the 9th of January.
Congratulations.
Um, Thank you. So I would say starting, that was kind of where it started. But then when I was home after college, I was dealing with a lot of mental health issues and wasn't able to work for many years
Mm.
because I had to tend to my health full time.
Mhm.
And so I was in the service industry for like 10 years and I learned a ton just working with people and, um, just customer service skills and all that. So that's really what I was doing for those first couple of years when I was at home, was working in restaurants and, um, yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. That's great. It looks like you had a bit of a stint with the Chicago Tribune. It looks like you've done some work in addiction recovery as well, autism therapy. I mean, you've done a lot. You have quite a bit of experience. Talk a bit about how all this came together through your path and through this journey to step into modalities like Reiki.
Yeah. So, at the beginning of COVID, I reconnected with my partner. Um, we had met earlier through an artist collective, and then we reconnected. And he got me into Kundalini yoga.
Mm.
And we kind of fell in love over doing Kundalini yoga together. It was right at the beginning of the pandemic.
Mhm.
And we would just do it together every single night over Zoom. And I just had these amazing, miraculous shifts from doing it. And then that kind of led me down the path to discover Reiki. I discovered it through the healing center that I go to in Chicago. That is just an amazing, they just have like the best healers in the city. It's just kind
Mm.
of a hub. And so that has really fostered my abilities and interests. And that was where I first started doing Reiki.
Awesome. Awesome. So let's get into the work you're doing. I know you work one-on-one, you facilitate group interactions as well. Talk us through your business, your day-to-day, and the things that you're doing.
Yeah. So I feel that my partner and I came together to create this collective. It was kind of divine intervention and just a series of synchronicities that brought us together to create this. My specialty and passion is subconscious reprogramming.
Mm.
And so I completed a training this year called the Lifeline Technique. And it is a subconscious reprogramming modality that incorporates 14 different techniques, everything from shamanism to neurolinguistic programming. And so, after gaining a deeper understanding of how the subconscious mind works, I saw that this was the missing piece in my healing journey. And having done really, really extensive work over the last 8 years, everything from Western therapy to medication to just everything under the sun, um, seeing how this piece fit into all of it, it felt like something clicked and brought it all together for me. And so that's really my passion, is helping clients to understand the power of the subconscious mind. And so when I do Reiki, I incorporate a lot of those techniques into it. So it's kind of putting people into a trance so they have the ability to access their subconscious mind. And it's really profound,
Mm.
the amount of information that you're able to access just within yourself, when you're given those tools and when you're put in that state. Um, and so to see these really transformational changes within clients on the one within the one-on-one basis has been really fulfilling for me. And then just kind of it started. So my partner and I do Kundalini based workshops. So he does Kundalini, and then I do the healing piece. So I'll do the subconscious reprogramming and Reiki. but now it's kind of uh it's taken interesting turns that I didn't see coming, and just kind of the universe speaking to me, where we're incorporating a lot more dance into it.
Hmm.
And it's something that is very needed in the spiritual community in Chicago, and something that people really want.
Yeah.
And so that's also something that we're starting to offer and incorporate into our workshops. And yeah, that's really exciting too.
That's amazing. Yes. Movement, right? We need to move our
Mhm.
bodies. Absolutely. Awesome. Well, it sounds like you are putting together amazing programs and really, really helping people. I want to ask Metta, what, in your opinion, I mean, I know you've seen a lot, this idea that we go to the doctor and we say, here's what's happening, doc, and they hand us a bottle of pills, so to speak, and push us along our way. Why have we come to this in this culture? I mean, is it convenience? Are people lazy? Like, why don't we go deeper? Why do we just put band-aids on everything?
What I've seen is that people are super disconnected from ancient wisdom. And I mean, I had a Kundalini awakening 3 years ago, but before that, I didn't realize that I could heal myself, you know? And you live in California, so you live in like the hub of
Yeah.
the Aquarian age, and everyone knows it out there. But a lot of people out here don't know it still.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're just so disconnected. And as I started to learn these tools, I was like, why did I not know that I can tap on this part of my body and regulate myself? Why did I not know that I can do this meditation and I can shift this energy? And it was so crazy to me just how cut off we are from so much of it.
Mhm.
And just like Amanda and I talk about this a lot, but just like big pharma, and
Mhm.
how it's just such a behemoth, and it's just all about money, you know? And I think the positive thing is that it's becoming people's health, it's just becoming so unmanageable for people. And out of necessity and desperation, people are turning to they're kind of suspending their criticism or skepticism around these new age modalities, just because they have to,
Yeah.
because they have to seek, you know, um, people are really hurting. And so I think that's just kind of, we're all hitting bottom
Yeah.
as a society, but there's also this beautiful willingness that's coming out of it, where people are waking up to everything that you're talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just shocked at how many people are disconnected, even their head from their body, it feels like, right? I mean,
Mhm.
it's like just it's all tied together, and every experience we have is stored, eh, in our body too. So it is really awesome to see that, and I'm glad to hear the Midwest is coming around as well. Yes, I think Encinitas, California, which is part of San Diego County, is got per capita the most yoga studios per per person, and in the U.S. It's really a lovely thing. Awesome. Well, let's talk a bit more about some of the things you're working on, developing with your partner in this upcoming year.
Yeah. In February, I am partnering up. I am a performance artist and I do burlesque. And
Awesome.
so I'm partnering up with my teacher, and we're having a love ball. So this is the dance component that I was talking to you about. We're going to do kind of free flowing dance. So there's no structure really. It's just kind of movement to music, but it's spiritual space. It's the intention of creating a spiritual space so people aren't showing up drunk or high. Um, it's really pure in that way.
Mhm.
And so people just come to dance and connect, and we're going to do some gazing rituals and just create a really beautiful sensual space that, there's just so much of that that's lacking too. Just people being able to connect with healthy pleasure. and just remembering the pleasure of spiritual community, of dance, of breathing. Just these things that are so simple but so profound when you get a group of people together to do it, you know?
Absolutely. That's awesome. Where is that being hosted?
I think it's actually going to be held in the Hera Hub building at the on the 7th floor.
Oh, cool. Awesome. That's
Yeah.
great.
So
all coming together.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I love it. Awesome. So just want to talk a bit about too some of the things, you know, on the horizon. If you could wave a magic wand, Metta, say a year from now, what continued work or service or expansion are you looking for in your business?
Yeah, so my goal is to live in Chicago during the summers and then California in the winters. And I think it's
Good
really
choice.
powerful. Yeah, I don't know why everyone doesn't just do that. I think it's really powerful, like I was saying, to have the Midwestern roots where it's not as saturated, you know, but also wanting to establish and it's so synchronistic because I've had this vision of wanting to move to California for the last 8 years, and then just randomly that Hera Hub is like has a huge, you know, is based in California.
Yeah.
Also feels really synchronistic,
Awesome.
and so yeah, so you know, establishing that expansion westwards, and then we want to create an artist collective in Chicago. So still trying to figure out what that looks like. And then definitely traveling and doing workshops for people around the country, around the world, and taking different modalities because all of this. So it was really interesting being trained in this modality, the lifeline technique, because I saw that it's all so novel, you know, like we are at the forefront of this revolution that's taking place right now where people are waking up and realizing that everything is energy, but it's still so new. And so there's so much opportunity to take, for example, Kundalini yoga, it's very energetic based, it's very spiritual, but combining that with other modalities that haven't been used before, you know? And so that's what a lot of people are doing too, is just putting things together, but in unique ways that help all of the technologies to shine more.
I love it. Awesome. I have a request. I've researched this and I'm like, why isn't anybody doing this? I would love somebody to lead a dance yoga class. So like my idea in this is, and I've played around with this with my girlfriend. So I do yoga and I love to dance. And I'm like, why not kind of flow, like, you know, do a position, but then kind of dance in that position, or kind of, you know, but bring dance into more of a yoga flow. Am I crazy? Is this a bad idea?
No, I love that. I think there are things like that exist.
Cool. Tell me about them, because
but
I've like researched and I can't, like, I'm on YouTube, like trying to find something. And I'm like, why is nobody doing this? I found one girl in like, I don't even know, with Germany or something, and she had something sort of like it. I'm like, I just want to experience it or do it. I mean, I could make it up on my own, but it'd be more fun to have somebody put some structure around it.
I feel like I see this for you. I'm having a vision for you where like you patent it and then you outsource other people to create it for you so that you can focus on what you're doing, but then still have the benefit of like enjoying it.
There you go.
I see this as like another business venture for you.
All right, let's do it. Dance yoga, here we come.
Yeah, definitely put a trademark on that because that's brilliant.
Okay, cool. Awesome. I love it. Well, Metta, where can our listeners learn more about you, you know, get in touch with you, all that good stuff?
Yeah, they can they can reach out to me on Instagram at our Creacion Collective page. They can check out our LinkedIn. There's a link for the website. I'm still, in all transparency, developing like systems and tools to best put myself out there. That's definitely an area of growth for me.
Yeah.
But I am active on social media, and I would love to connect with people.
Awesome. Well, it's been a lot of fun getting to know you, Metta. I'm so glad that you found Hera Hub, and we'll look forward to seeing you here in California soon.
Yes, thank you so much, Felina. I'm so grateful that we've connected.
Thank you for joining this week's episode of Flight Club, sponsored by Hera Hub. We look forward to sharing more success stories with you soon.